How about I find the award first this time? There we go. Okay, so now I would like to introduce a man that we all know and love, Mr. Ross Stratton with WBRT. He was last year's 2016 Man of the Year, and he will introduce this year's Man of the Year. Mr. Ross Stratton.
Because of Dr. Leslie, I can read my notes tonight. And Lisa, you and I coordinated well on our pants, by the way. I am happy to be back this year with the Man of the Year award. At my age, I'm happy to be back anywhere the next day. I want to thank Kim Houston, and I know Tiger's here. Kim nominated me last year. Tiger introduced me last year. Thank you very much. That's a night I won't forget. And I hope this is the same thing for the person I'm about to introduce here. I had an interesting year. We finally were able to purchase WOKH 102.7 FM now. If you want more history about WOKH, you can talk to Tom Isaac back there. My wife can tell you we had an interesting year. But we're happy to be here tonight. When we purchased WOKH, it was hard to keep our mouth shut for a while because it took a lot longer than we expected. But we call it the Rocket 102.7 FM, so we'll go with our introduction here tonight of tonight's winner in that vein. So please accept my apologies in advance. For those of you that know about liftoffs, we have the T-, and I'm not really sure what that stands for, Congressman, but T-5. This man is dedicated. Our 2017 Man of the Year is dedicated professional and with the proven ability to provide strategic leadership in both business and civic affairs. T-4 in our countdown. He's active. He's active in the community and in our state. He sits on numerous boards, including the Bardstown-Nelson County Chamber, the Nelson County Tourism and Convention, the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce Executive Committee, Kentucky Distillers Association, that may have been a little bit of a hint, the Kentucky One Flagey Memorial Hospital Foundation, the Japanese American Society, another hint, and the Kentucky Workforce Innovation Board. That's just to name a few. T-3 in our countdown. He's passionate. His passion to improve his community, Bardstown-Nelson County, and our surrounding community, the Commonwealth, is evident. But locally, he spearheaded projects at Jim Beam, another hint, to support the Guthrie Opportunity Center. And those of us know what that means to our community and to that population of our community. He supports the United Way and the American Red Cross. Thanks to his vision, Jim Beam has been able to donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Flagey Memorial Hospital Foundation Project for Hope. T-2, serving. In his church, Parkway Baptist, he's a serving attitude person, where he's not only offering his vision, but he's the type of leader that's willing to do the hard labor. And many of us know that sometimes we get a lot of people that offer things, but they sometimes don't come up to the plate when it's time to go to work. So T-1 is he leads by example. Whether it be raising thousands of dollars to expand cancer care or carrying soda cans and setting up tables for our chamber chow down, which I personally witnessed, he doesn't just sit back and watch. He rolls up that sleeve and he gets it done. And we're about to blast off. But before we do, one thing that's not on my notes. We moved here about 9 years ago, didn't we, huh? I got an autograph not long after we moved here. That gentleman's autograph was the first autograph I got. little different position then. Well, I'll never forget it. Those are the qualities that make this man our Man of the Year. And most of you have taken my hints and know that it's Kevin Smith of Jim Beam.
Well, thank you very much. That was quite an introduction, and I've never been blasted off before, so I like that. I have to start by thanking the Chamber, the Board of Directors, all the members, the leadership of our Chamber, our staff, Lisa, Tiffany, and our leader itself, Samantha, who's not here tonight, but I have to tell you, I'm very impressed with Samantha, very excited what Samantha is going to do for our Chamber in 2018. I also have to say that when you get up here and you do these things, there's a lot of things that go through your mind, and you start thinking about who do I need to thank and where do I need to start. And I will tell you that you can't do these things, as you've heard, if your family doesn't support you. So I have to thank first and foremost my family, my wife, my children, my son-in-law, my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and close personal friends, that table. But truly, when you do these type of things without your spouse's support, you can't. Thank you, Gretchen. I appreciate that. So to you, thank you. You also don't do these things unless someone in your life or people in your life have influenced you. And so I would be remiss if I didn't mention my parents, my in-laws, who are examples of themselves. And if you looked at the list between their things that they accomplished, you'd understand maybe it's kind of in our blood and what we do. And my mother-in-law here, 20 years plus, serving as a school teacher and serving in her church as well. And when you speak of influences, then you also have to think about, you got to have the opportunity to do this. And where I work at Beam Suntory, which you guys know is Jim Beam, Maker's Mark, and many other great brands like Knob Creek. That company, moving to a company owned by a Japanese group, has been very significant for us because they have things that are important besides just making great bourbon and trying to do those type of things well. They have platforms and pillars, and one of those is growing for good in the community where our employees live and work. And so a lot of what I do, and you hear about this money that's being given, is because our company thinks it's very important to reinvest into the community. And that's hopefully what you'll also see with the other distilleries, and there's several of them represented here tonight. And within that group of people, there's some leaders. And I have to tell you, one of them sitting here tonight, Mr. Jerry Summers, if you'll raise your hand, Jerry. Jerry, along with Bill Samuels, who I worked for several years, and that's the signature he's referring to, always impressed us and stressed to us to get involved, and not just get involved, but lead when you got into those positions. And so that's been a really encouraging thing. Now, I will tell you that the reality of this is this award is not really Man of the Year, it's Team of the Year, because there's a table of people sitting right over here. Raise your hand, guys. Some of them are here and some of them are not here, but I would not be getting this award if it weren't for all the work that they did to actually make some of these things come to happen. And so here's the Team of the Year, guys. Thank you very much. And as I kind of close, the last thing I want to say to you, and this is going to be very personal, and so bear with me. I look to, what inspires you, what leads you. And in my life, one of the things I have to tell you that is inspirational to me is my faith in Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, who I think is the ultimate servant leader. Gave of himself to everyone. And ultimately, you look at this chamber as we've talked tonight, what did you hear? The compassion, the caring, volunteer of the year. These are all things about loving one another. I will tell you, that's one of the things that makes this chamber great, in my opinion, is the fact that we are close, and that this community in Bardstown has faith. And in that faith, what we find is unity and strength. And so, as I close, I humbly say thank you so much. I don't think I necessarily deserve this because I do it for a living, it's my job, and kind of that. But while doing it, I have to tell you, it's been very rewarding, and I'm honored to receive this. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Kevin. I'm honored to work with him on several boards and organizations, and he's an incredible volunteer and very worthy of the award.